Darkness. A silence so deep you can almost hear your own heartbeat. Then a faint light. Slowly, as though summoned from the shadows, a figure begins to emerge. At first you notice the silhouette. A man seated, body coiled tight, arms crossed over his chest. Then the details sharpen. His face appears pale, angular, carved almost like marble, beautiful in a way that feels unearthly. His expression is unreadable, locked somewhere between pride and sorrow, fury and stillness. And then, the eyes. Two piercing, icy blue eyes that do not simply look at you, they look through you, stripping you bare. There's an intensity there that makes it hard to breathe. It's not anger exactly, not even hatred. It's something deeper: defiance, the refusal to bend. You feel as if you have walked in on a private moment, and yet you cannot turn away. The air feels heavier, as though the room itself is holding its breath. This is Lucifer. Painted in 1890 by Franz von Stuck, this image has haunted audiences for more than 130 years. Some have called it cursed. Others have called it dangerously seductive. Visitors have reported strange physical sensations while looking at it: a sudden chill, a feeling of being watched, even dizziness. Some have claimed the eyes follow them out of the room, and others have admitted they cannot stop thinking about it for days after seeing it in person, as though the image lingers, burned into the mind like an afterimage. But what makes this particular painting so powerful, so disturbing? Why did von Stuck's Lucifer shock the audiences of its day, and why does it still feel unsettling now, over a century later? To understand this, we need to step back into the late 19th century and into the mind of Franz von Stuck. Von Stuck was one of the leading figures of the symbolist movement, an art movement obsessed with the unseen forces of the world. Where other artists painted polite landscapes, symbolists painted dreams, nightmares, and visions. They weren't afraid to confront subjects that polite society preferred to keep hidden: death, temptation, desire, sin. Von Stuck in particular was fascinated by the mythological and the forbidden. He painted sirens, Medusas, Salome, figures of danger and seduction. He had a gift for taking legendary characters and turning them into psychological portraits, making them feel real and intimate. When he painted Lucifer in 1890, Europe was on the edge of modernity. Science was challenging centuries of religious authority. Industry was transforming cities, and a growing fascination with psychology, thanks to pioneers like Freud, was forcing people to consider that perhaps the darkest parts of ourselves were not external devils, but something lurking within. It's in this context that von Stuck gave us a Lucifer unlike any seen before. Traditionally, artists had depicted Lucifer or Satan as grotesque, monstrous, something clearly marked as evil. Von Stuck does the opposite. He gives us a Lucifer who is beautiful, devastatingly so, and who has not yet been consumed by his fall. He is still an angel, still radiant, but that radiance has curdled into something darker. The painting is monumental, nearly life-sized, and von Stuck uses that scale to confront the viewer directly. When you stand before it, Lucifer is not a distant myth. He is there, sitting across from you, challenging you with that unblinking stare. He does not look like a devil plotting chaos. He looks like someone who has made a choice and who refuses to regret it. This was shocking in 1890. To make Lucifer sympathetic, even dignified, was seen as a dangerous idea. Critics at the time accused von Stuck of glorifying rebellion. Some even warned that the painting could corrupt the viewer. It wasn't just that Lucifer looked beautiful, it was that he looked relatable. You could see yourself in him. Newspapers at the time reported that the painting had an uncanny effect on viewers. One Munich critic wrote, "Lucifer casts a dreadful spell, a spell one cannot easily break, even after leaving the gallery." Another described how the figure's eyes seemed to glow faintly in the dim exhibition hall, following visitors as they walked by. And soon, the stories began to grow. By the early 1900s, rumors spread of fainting spells in front of the painting. Some said young visitors would stare too long and feel dizzy, almost entranced. There were soldiers who claimed to have visited the gallery before going off to war, looking into Lucifer's eyes for courage, and others who swore it cursed them with nightmares of fire and smoke. Even in recent decades, the painting's reputation has not faded. Visitors to the National Gallery in Berlin, where the painting now resides, sometimes report feeling uneasy as they approach it. Some say the room feels colder. Others claim that Lucifer's stare seems to intensify the longer you look, as if the painting is aware of you. There are even online forums where people share experiences of dreaming about Lucifer after seeing the painting, dreams of standing in a dark place with nowhere to run, of being judged by those piercing blue eyes. So what is going on here? Part of the painting's power lies in its ambiguity. Von Stuck never told us what moment he was painting. Is this Lucifer just after the fall, sitting in the darkness of exile? Or is it before the rebellion, as he sits plotting his defiance? The crossed arms and tense posture suggest both anger and self-control, both shame and pride. We are left to decide for ourselves what we are seeing, and in that way, the painting becomes a mirror. Psychologists have argued that this is precisely why the painting has such an effect on us. Lucifer's stillness, his refusal to look away, triggers something primal in the viewer. His gaze is a challenge, and we instinctively respond. Art historians point to von Stuck's use of muted tones and the empty background, which isolates Lucifer and heightens the feeling of claustrophobia. There is no context, no setting, no narrative clues, just you and him, locked in an eternal stare. And this is where the myth of the painting's curse comes from. It's not that the canvas is literally possessed, it's that von Stuck has painted a psychological trap. Once you've seen Lucifer's face, it's hard to forget it. Once you've met those eyes, you carry them with you. Over the decades, the painting has taken on a life of its own. In popular culture, it has been reproduced in books about the occult, used as an illustration in discussions of rebellion and pride, and even connected unfairly or not to secret society imagery. Each new generation discovers it and adds its own layer of meaning, its own fears and fascinations. Take one last look. The dark hair framing his face like a crown of shadow, the pale glow of his skin against the void behind him, the perfectly sculpted features of beauty so flawless it feels almost inhuman, and those eyes still staring, still waiting, as though they have been staring for over a century, watching every viewer who has dared to meet them. Perhaps that is why Lucifer remains so powerful. It doesn't just show us a fallen angel, it shows us rebellion made flesh, pride turned into a portrait. It forces us to confront the part of ourselves that refuses to bow, that wants to defy no matter the cost. And that perhaps is the most frightening thing of all. So, what about you? Would you dare to stand in front of this painting and meet Lucifer's gaze? Do you think von Stuck was merely painting a symbol of human defiance? Or do you believe there's something darker, something that gives the painting its strange, almost magnetic pull even now? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you see when you look at Lucifer. And if you enjoyed this dive into one of art history's most haunting works, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another deep exploration into the eerie, the unsettling, and the unforgettable. Lucifer.